All right, guys. I've been thinking either a number has been done on black women and they are supremely insecure, or we're really, really creative.
Wow.
Yeah? So there's a guy that is he's going around on the internet, he's gone viral, and he has a video saying $34 billion is spent on hair by black women in Nigeria. So I'm thinking, all right, if that's just Nigeria, think of the whole of Africa. Then take it to the whole of the Caribbean. Then take it to America, to the UK, Brazil, all of that. How much money are black women spending on hair? And why are we doing this if it isn't crazy insecurity? Because this is like fake hair, human hair, products, 34 billion. What's wrong with us?
I don't think it's insecurity though.
Okay, go on.
Because when I put my hair in a protective style, I'm not doing it because I don't like my natural hair. I'm doing it because I just want to change up my hair. I get bored. So sometimes I want to have long, sometimes I want to have short, sometimes it's just easier. So it's not about insecurities. I don't think so. For the majority of black women, I would say it's not about insecurities.
Yeah.
34 billion in Nigeria, I believe it. Because we spend a lot of money on hair. If you think that you do your hair maybe every 4 weeks, one person does your hair every 4 weeks, yeah? By the time you pay for the hair, get someone to do your hair, put all the grease and the moisturizers and all the products that it takes to keep our hair healthy, I can understand that.
And that...
There's a lot of people in Nigeria.
That seems normal to you guys. Like, this is a normal practice for any woman, but a black woman, to do.
I think that there was a poll that came out like a few years ago that black women spend the most in beauty anyway, generally, just because we have to buy the premium products where the high street products won't cater for our skin tone. So then we have to kind of dosh out for the premium products and stuff. But I also think 34 bit, I mean, is that, how did he come to that number? Because it feels quite inflated. I don't know if that's the right
The
number.
real number.
So
Actually,
it
billion
feels
what?
The top.
Billion what?
Is it Naira?
It was US dollars.
Was it
Oh, US dollars?
Yeah.
And actually, to be fair, that number has been debunked and it's been, I'll see your 3 and I'll raise you 4.
What?
So actually, a recent post on Naira Land reported that Nigerian women spend actually over 429. Oh.
Go on, you surprised yourself.
Actually, it's back down. My bad. I got it wrong. It's actually, in this report, it says 429 million.
Okay.
Million.
That seems
That
more
seems
realistic.
more reasonable.
Yeah.
But you guys still think that is
I haven't
okay
given
for
my
black
piece.
women.
So my thing is, as much as the hair journey that we're on, it's difficult to say that it's not, we've come so far that it's not, we can easily say it's not insecurity. But what's rooted in us wearing wigs, aside from the cultural styles that we do, and this is specifically about fake hair. It's not even just about our hair care routine.
Okay,
like that.
that's what I was
It's
gonna ask.
specifically about fake hair. It's how many of us buy fake hair that looks like our hair, that represents how our hair naturally grows out of our head. So I would like to know the stats of how many people will wear like straight European looking hair, Brazilian hair, and all that type of stuff. So in those things, I think we can't get away from, there's something in the insecurity in that, like why we wear straight hair, not hair representing what comes out of our head naturally.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I'm just saying that I think there's categories of, you know, you wear extensions. Some people live in extensions. Some people live in wearing Afro wigs. Some people live in having like twists and stuff that's very natural to what our hair looks like. But there are some people, and I don't think it's just a small percentage. There are lots of women that would rather die than have their natural hair show, and they would rather have hair that's wavy or not like their natural hair pattern. So that's a conversation I think that is an interesting one, because why don't more black women wear more natural textured hairstyles, apart from when it's in fashion, like when Scary Spice was a thing, and when Lauryn Hill, like it's always a trend rather than this is what we always go for.
The only reason why I'm saying I don't necessarily agree with that is because you can have natural hair and use a straightener and straighten your hair, and that doesn't mean that I'm like, if I was to do that today, I'm not trying to be European. My hair is blonde. It's not naturally blonde. I'm not trying to be European.
But you're not the majority.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying it's not everybody though, is it? It's not everybody
but it's a
who
majority.
wears.
It's a lot of women.
It's not everybody everybody who wears a straight wig is insecure.
I'm not
It's
saying
not everybody
that.
who wears a straight wig is trying to be European.
I don't think it's as black and white as trying to be European.
But you're saying you'd like to explore that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm just
I
saying,
think- I
think they are- I think they are
within that
insecure.
exploration, I don't think all of them are insecure.
And I'm not saying insecure is always the thing. I'm saying that the first instance of, it's always the first black billionaire or millionaire, Madam C.J. Walker, who created the relaxer in order for black women to kind of assimilate post-slavery, post that time, to have straightened hair because their natural hair was seen as a weapon and whatever. It was weaponized against them, I should say. So that's the roots of it. So I don't think that today, because even when we talk about blonde, our blonde is different from you, like a Nordic Celtic blonde. Do you know what I'm saying? So we've now come to the honey blonde. We've got a different type of blonde that's now become a black girl blonde.
black girl blonde.
Black girl blonde. So I think we don't even have to say that you're trying to be white or trying to be European by having blonde hair. We've created a culture out of it. But there is something to be said, and no one really has the answer as to why do a lot of us choose the straight textured hair versus what naturally grows out of our head? It's a conversation.
I think it's because, so as somebody that's been wearing this afro wig for a few years, the reason that I wanted to have an afro specifically is because I've been trying to grow my natural hair for years for it to be like this. And at the moment, it's still like a teeny weeny fro. But for me, it's just the symbolism of having an afro. For me, just it emotes something so powerful and it's so black to me. And I love that. And I think maybe one of the reasons why we have this thing where a lot of women wear straightened or like loose curled hair is we still have a lot of stereotyping and discrimination at work, in schools. I remember like way back in my previous life, I used to work in a law firm, and I remember there was a conversation that actually got really heated where the lawyers were like, yeah, you need to have a professional look, and the professional was straight hair.
Yeah, they say that a lot.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of women, especially when you're
Western
entering the workplace and in corporate, there is a certain expectation as to how we should look. And unfortunately, for those of us that are not black, having an afro is seen as too much or seen as unprofessional. And I think deep down there are a lot of women that still feel that way, because afros and natural like curly textured hair is beautiful, and we should be able to, you know, flaunt our curls without feeling as if we're taking up space in a negative way. You know,
Definitely.
Yeah,
I think we got to be honest with it, because if you even like go into a school now, I went into a school the other day and I'm seeing girls that are like 14 with wigs on.
yeah,
Full on bust downs, and they're straight and they're long. And this is to all the degrees, you know, like the shoddy connections where you can like see the webbing and everything, to somebody with a really good lace. And it's like, but when I was in school, the most you had was tracks. Like that was all you had. No, there weren't girls 14 wearing wigs. And I think, what does that do when you are further away from your scalp? Like, what is that really doing when you're always adorning something else? And to spend so much money on it, when economically they say that we are at the bottom of the rung, but for women to be spending so much of their income on their hair, I can't see it being anything other than an insecurity, a trauma, a response to society that I wish we didn't have.
but do you know what makes it worse now is that you can get these wigs for like £10 on TikTok.
Yeah, you
Shop,
can.
on
You can get it on
Shein,
Amazon, wherever.
Temu.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Like,
It's
now
chips.
it's so cheap to get, like £8, £10 for these synthetic wigs, and you have like influencers that demonstrate them online and make them.
And how you can cut them down.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind
So
of
it's,
looks, yeah.
And
it's
I
really
think
scary.
I think it's...
But
Go on.
I think when we went to school, people, it was straightening your hair. That's what people were
the
doing.
relaxer
So
was
now
the thing.
instead of perming your hair, people are getting wigs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's the difference in this generation, I think. But as far as it goes for them being so far removed from their own texture and what that does to them, I'm hopeful that they'll get to the point that we've all got to, you know, like there's beauty in the textures that we have, wherever they come in. There's beauty in the way that our hair is very adaptable. 1 minute it can be straight, the next minute it can be curly. You can braid it. You can do so many different things to our lovely afro hair. And I hope that they get to that point as well, because when you're in school, you're if we're talking about insecurities, if you want to go down that road, when you're in school, you're changing a lot you're going through insecurities, some of them may not feel that they're good enough in many different ways. There are the influencers that are telling them to get the bust down wig or whatever it is, or even just wear extensions down to your bum. Girl, I see a lot of girls doing that. But I see a lot of girls doing lots of different extension hairstyles. Hopefully that will change, because it's changed for us. There was a time, it has though, there was a time that I know more women now with natural hair than I ever knew when I was, say 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I remember being at a stage where it was like, even me, I've not relaxed my hair since like maybe 2003. That was the last time I relaxed my hair.
Yeah.
And I know that even when I did it, I thought that I would never ever not have relaxed hair.
Yeah.
I couldn't conceive of a world where I didn't do that. And here I am now, 20-something years later, and I've not touched the shit. But it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? It's about them learning.
I agree. I think there's a learning curve, but it's just that key moment where I can't ignore, because it's like, even with Doechii having K-Rose for this moment, it's like a moment, and it's like a natural hairstyle. So why is, like, in all the moments, Doechii's hair it almost becomes a statement, because in amongst everything, there's mostly this kind of wavy, long.
But even she had straight hair the other day.
I'm not saying,
no, I know.
I'm just saying
people
that.
Switch it up.
I'm just saying that for that moment, it's like, oh my God.
I get it.
And that's what I'm saying. So it shouldn't be like an oh my God moment in that way.
It
should just be like normalized.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think there's nothing. I'm less concerned about people who switch it up. So you go between braids and natural. And what I love about you, Sade, and all of us here, I don't wear anything. I might wear twists. I don't wear straight hair. But between us all, we're unafraid to show our natural hair. And that's the part where I'm just like, I've said it before, what I don't like is when I walk down the street and I see people, I'm judging, I used to be a hairdresser, and it's like, you would hold on to this crappy wig that looks bait rather than have your own hair. And that's the part where I'm like, that's a problem. When we have girls in school, yes, we go through stages and fashion changes in school, but the fact that as a parent, you're allowing your child, and you're saying to your child, yeah, do you know what? Your wig looks busted, but that's okay to go to school with, rather than just have some K-Rose and have a twisted style. And
fling your hair in a ponytail.
Okay, it's easy for us to sit here and cast judgment on these parents.
I'm a parent.
But I'm talking about the parents that let their kids do it, not you. I'm talking about those parents.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to sit here and do that. But what I do know is that when I was in school and I had permed hair, I was doing some crazy ass styles that my mum probably would have been like, if she took a minute to actually see what I was doing, would have been like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I remember I shaved the back of my head one time, and my mum, like, I knew that I shouldn't have done it, so I was kind of like trying to have my pony low down so she couldn't see that I shaved the back of my head. When she found out, she took me to the barber shop, not the hairdressers, to the barber shop, like where all the man them were, and was like, look what she's done to her hair. Can you fix it? So maybe they don't always, like kids sometimes as well, but they don't leave home.
That's creativity,
but they don't leave home.
Put the wig in the bag.
Thank you. Even like down to how people wear their skirts and stuff. You never left home like that.
It could, so, but then this is big women spending crazy amounts of their income on hair from Brazil, China, Mongolia, like literally, that is so much money going on hair to go on your head that doesn't resemble what your hair looks like.
I think that's
it's a lot of, even if it is,
and
it's specific.
But they said fake hair, so we don't.
No, it's human as well. So the guy says it. It's human hair.
We don't know.
What I mean is, we don't know the texture of that. It's not like he's saying 420.
No, but
million.
I'm saying let's just go on what we see.
We do.
Like you step into a rave.
We're talking about Nigeria. We're talking specifically.
Yeah, so I'm saying if
Nigeria.
it's Nigeria's spending, so think about when you step into a rave here, how much straight hair you see compared to natural hair, compared to even braids. There's a lot of wigs. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, there are a lot of wigs.
And that's translates to Africa as well, sorry.
Does it include braids and boho braids and goddess
because
braids?
there is
he was talking about fake hair.
There is
it was
human hair braids. Like I switch it up between human and synthetic.
I don't think it's
braids.
Between synthetic or human. It's just
like
fake hair.
Because
once it's not yours going out your head, then
he's saying so. It's everything.
Okay,
but I do think that we see in all of our Black women culture around the world, we predominantly led is a style that's not representative of most Afro hairstyles. We know that we can get straighter hair. We know we can get looser curls, depending that we know all of that. But in the majority, what we can see just based on what we see, especially people in the public eye, it's a straight hair.
On one hand, I feel like with the progression of the natural hair movement on YouTube and things like that, there is an argument that could be said that at this point, we don't have any excuse to say, oh, it's about maintenance, because there are so many tutorials and stuff on how to look after natural hair. However, one thing I have noticed about the natural hair movement is that they concentrate so much on curl definition and hair growth. So everything is like, you have to put this gel to loosen your curls.
Yes.
Everything. I remember I followed this girl on TikTok, and I'd finished washing my hair, and I wanted to do a wash and go on my 4C hair, and she had done it, and she'd used all of these lotions and potions, and hers came out amazing, and mine just came out as if I'd still just washed it, and I got so angry with myself. And then I had to stop and be like, why am I angry? This is my natural hair. It's this like cloud
an expectation
of hair, and it's just like, why in the natural hair movement do we have this expectation to have super defined curls? Because it looks closer to
not being like absolutely Afro
curls
hair.
or
there's definitely the argument for that. And on my natural hair journey, I've looked at a lot of those videos as well, and I've had to just come to the point of like, I know what works for me. I can't look, my hair isn't actually this person or that person. I have to like sit within my own self and find my own products, and there are certain things I can do to enhance my curls, but I like frizz. Like I do. Like when my hair is out, I actually like it. The bigger the frizzier, the better. I don't want super defined curls, but that's what I've discovered about myself when I have my hair out. But I think it's a journey.
With me, I know I have an insecurity with it just being an afro, because it changes my look and I don't feel as sexy if it's just round. Because now I do the sponge, so it's like that. And again, it's like what you're saying about, we've got black girl blonde and we've got black girl straight, and so we have created our own definition of what straight and blonde and those type of styles look like. This to me doesn't make me feel like I'm trying to look like a mixed race girl or someone with defined curls. However, if I question myself, I feel some type of way if it's when it's just, when it's not like this, it's just a round afro. That doesn't feel sexy. It feels like, for me, but I'm just saying that for me, just having, would you wear just a tight round, like a patterned round afro?
It's styles, isn't it?
I know, I'm just saying that, but would you wear comfortable feeling like a...
No, because that's not the style that I like, but I would have my hair out. And also my hair, my actual natural hair doesn't sit like that. It doesn't stay like that. It more flops. It's not like I'm saying I've got like hair fling.
But
it doesn't, I cannot have an afro that's just like that. It will flop a bit. So I'm not happy with how that looks on me. I prefer a curl. I prefer a frizzy curl, but I prefer a curl. So I don't think, if in your natural hair state, we can't get into points where we're like, all we can do is have it grow out of our head how it is, and that's that. Otherwise, I'm going to be a Nyabingi, and I'm not there yet.
But no, you know what I mean? My point is, but that's the point, though, because because if we're looking at what is considered beautiful, and
what's considered comfortable for you as well.
I'm just saying, but what is considered beautiful for black women, right? What is considered beautiful? Can I get away with? Because, and it's also this is where insecurities come in. I'm a dark-skinned woman, and I don't sit and hang on like, oh my God, I'm a dark-skinned woman. But there are certain styles that being a dark-skinned woman will make me think twice about, does this make me look appealing to the world? The world, the people that I want to appeal to in that respect, are they going to see me as cute if my hair is just a tight afro? Are they going to get it? Am I going to get the guy that I want with just a tight afro? Do I need to manipulate it? Do I need to, and what does that mean? Am I softening my look? What am I doing? And why is that a problem? And that is the core.
That is the essence of an insecurity.
Yeah,
and I think most people do have can I just do my hair and comb it out and go out? And there are some women that can, but I think the majority of women will do something to their hair.
It's a bigger thing then, because what are you actually saying? Are you suggesting that we should all just be in a state where we feel like we can just wake up, wash our face and go outside? Because if that's the case, then we shouldn't be wearing makeup. We shouldn't be doing any of those things.
You should be able to, within the meridian of your life. And I would like people in the comments to say, how many of you truly can do all of that? Just even the basics of makeup with your own hair, and leave your house and still feel secure. I would say it's probably 95% of women would never do that, especially black women.
This is very difficult. I don't know. I'm a bit confused about where you're saying that we should sit, because there is nothing wrong with wanting to make yourself feel good about yourself. And if that means that you just use shea moisture on your face and go, cool. And you just put your hair back in the ponytail, cool. 9 times out of 10, that's how I look. I wear makeup when I come to this podcast. I don't do this every day. And I don't even wear a lot of it, right? I don't do this shit every day. And I know that's me and that's how I feel, but I don't think that we should be getting into where we're making people feel some type of way about themselves because they've chosen to use gel. They've chosen to put something in their hair that gives them a style that they like. I don't want us to get
I
into
don't think that's
really
the question.
making them to
it's
feel
kinda,
away.
I kind of feel like that's
actually
where we're getting
down within yourself and reflect. Can I truly leave my house with 5% of what I generally will leave my house with to feel okay? And if you can't do that, you know that you're insecure. And it's just that. It's just the truth.
And a lot of it is based in misogynoir as well. It's the way in which black women, especially dark-skinned black women, are made to feel in terms of our beauty. Like, a lot of us have been masculinized a lot, or the further away you are from what society considers feminine, so whether you are plus size, dark skin, black woman, whatever, the further you are, the more masculine you're made to feel by society. And I think a lot of us growing up have internalized that, where either we've, as kids, have been compared to men, or, if you start going to the gym, people start saying, oh, you're hench, all of this kind of stuff. I think somewhere in between there are those things where we want to soften our appearance because that's what predominantly men want to see in terms of black women. And I think the more that we can sort of unlearn those things, or have discourse about these things and really unpack why is it that we are appealing to men in the first place, the fact that we're centering the patriarchy in our beauty, I think, is something that we need to unpack, because I think at the end of the day, all of these conversations do stem, unfortunately, around what they have dictated how they want women to present.
I think it's not a question of making people feel bad, because no matter what, we can have this conversation. Tomorrow I'm wearing my makeup and I'm doing my hair. So no matter what, I'm not going outside like that. I hands up. I can go around my local area, but I know that I can't go. There's a certain place I'm not going to come on the pod. I'm not going to go out and do a Q&A or do my business without and I'm not a caker. So I can do light makeup, but I'm not going to go outside without looking in a presentable way, because I know that I have insecurities. But obviously, being in a relationship, I'm not one of those people that will wake up at 5 a.m. to make sure I look like this when he wakes up. I'm not going to do that.
I feel so sorry for women that do that. But I think it's always a point to think about. I sit in that, like, okay, how far can you push it and still feel okay?
Yeah.
And it's one thing, although I bring her here all the time, Miss Our Fabulous, I love that she shows herself in all her iterations. Hair out, afro, no makeup, full on bust down makeup. Like, I love that she will go online and do all of that.
However,
I think more people, if more people would do that, I find it inspiring, and I do sit with myself. Why can't you do that? I have insecurities. And it's just to be able to, it's a first step in it. I don't want to give myself excuses out of knowing you got work to do on yourself, chick. Like, if you're lucky, you're going to be here for 40 more years. Can you present yourself to the world in your actual self without all of the shit? I sit there and think about that.
Yeah, and I think definitely with having a daughter with having Amma, it definitely made me, because I was doing weaves, I was doing extensions, and I remember when I had her, I was like, no, you're not going to see me like this. No judgment for anybody. This is for me, and I want my child to grow up loving her hair. We're talking about her hairstyle for her 25th. She's looking to get a bust down, but I know that my child will go to work. She's got cane rows at the front and her hair in an afro at the back. She'll go to school. I keep saying school because she's my baby. She'll have her hair out in an afro. She'll wear extensions, but it's just that well-rounded thing where my hair is my crown. But when I want to, I can hide it and put something else on. But I'm not embarrassed or scared
I think that's the main thing.
But not everyone gets that.
but
Yeah.
I think that is the main point.
Yeah.
As long as you're not embarrassed or scared by your hair, I don't give a shit if you're going to wear a bust down, but don't be embarrassed or scared by your hair. Mix it, I like you said, I like people that can mix it up.
Yeah, I'm all good. If you mix it up, I'm all good.
Yeah.
If I feel, again, it's not my business, but it is when I see people like, they will never, and they will only have the straight Brazilian.
But it's a lot of money to spend, though, no?
it is about time. I do feel like it's about time because, as I said, I remember 20 years ago, I would never have not permed my hair. You crazy? What do you mean? Natural hair, what?
We've moved along. The natural hair movement really did change a lot of perception.
I'm doing dreads
but
soon
also
anyway.
the level of wigs that you see, I think, is still indicative of. It doesn't matter because then people will be like, "But my hair's natural," but I've never seen it. It's forever. Like
Protective style is in it.
and that protective styles become the kind of plaster over the truth. That's the thing. And relaxer was our version of the wig. It was also, I remember it was like, you got to have your hair straightened. It was a thing. Like, your hair must be straightened. My mum is old school. She's 80 something. She's like, when she sees, if she saw your afro, she'd be like, oh, it's too big. Is she doing that? Yeah. She will be like, if she sees dreadlocks, she's like, hey.
She's going to say that to me soon.
No, if she likes sister locks. She likes neat locks.
I'm not having sister locks.
No, she's going for dreads. I will do sister locks.
Yeah.
But literally.
No, she likes if it's neat. If she sees anything that's, but she's of that generation. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. No, it's definitely. When my sister got locks, my mum was in distress. Like, she literally called me up like, I cannot believe what your sister has done. Where I was on the phone like, oh my God, I was going to do it. So when my sister did it, I was like, I've always wanted that hair. Let me see how my mum reacts to it. And she would look at her with disdain. She never liked it. And then you would see my aunties, they would all look at her like.
That's what happens though. Like, my brother's got really long hair and he he has it in 2-strand twists more often than not, yeah? And my mum will say stuff like, where's my son? She's got past saying anything to me. Sometimes she might comment like, extensions again. I'm like, yes, extensions again.
Leave my mama alone. Leave my auntie alone. All right, guys. That was a one.
Yeah.
No.
It was.
Okay, guys. Welcome to Your Aunties Could Never. I'm Auntie AK, the auntie of all aunties, and I'm here with...
I'm Farah, your resident Caribbean queen.
I'm Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
We are one auntie down. Auntie Sade's not feeling well. Sending love, sending love. But we do have the wonderful, the author, the writer, the lifestyle guru, the beauty aficionado, Ms. Stephanie Yeboah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
You have actually been on the show before, but when we were inside of a box.
We were living in a box.
Yeah, now we are live in living colour.
Yes,
exactly. Right?
Good to have you, baby girl.
Thank you.
So we're going to have a lot of fun with you. We're going to get into your business, guys. I have some announcements. I want a cherry.
Just get on with your job.
Okay. Announcements, please. You need to.
Boop the like button, boop the like button, boop the like button, boop the like button, boop the like button.
Boop it now.
What else have people got to do?
Also, please subscribe to our membership because
it costs $1.99 if you just want to be our friend and support us. But if you want to be family, it costs £4.99. £4.99 and you get a bag of content. You get into our WhatsApp group.
Yes.
You get stuff that no one else is going to see, like interviews with wonderful people. But it's still I can't speak. What was I going to say?
$4.99.
I had a cherry in my mouth.
Exactly.
$4.99.
You should have given me the cherry.
Cheaper than a bag of chips.
Yes.
In some places.
No.
Also, I've got to do Charlotte. If you're listening on the podcast airwaves, that's Apple, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. Please leave us comments. 5 stars only, and only positive comments, or we will return to sender. Kai.
I actually would like you guys to leave comments about anything, what you're thinking.
Okay.
And maybe leave multiple comments as well, like as you're watching
leave
the episode.
essays.
Leave essays, please.
To be fair,
especially on Spotify, do that.
Yeah, do it on Spotify. But to be fair, on YouTube, they be commenting.
They be commenting.
They can't stop commenting. Bring it on. I like it. Keep doing it. But yeah, they're talking.
Commenting. Yeah. Okay, and also, by the way, guys, serious time now. And just a reminder that we are your aunties. We're not experts. We're just sharing our thoughts and opinions. Please do your own research, source your own facts, draw your own conclusions. Thank you, please.
Yes.
Okay?
Peace and thanks.
Okay? Okay?
Do that.
Everybody understood?
Yes.
Right. Okay, cool. First of all, we're going to get into enemies of progress. We're helping you to cipher out all the bullshit. I have an enemy of progress I'm going to go into. But first of all, I need to call out my daughter. She's an enemy of progress on 2 levels.
No.
Right, go on.
Yes.
I rebuke that.
What
I
does
don't
she
even know
do?
what it's
No,
about.
on 2 levels. First of all, she knows mummy's doing healthy eating for the new year. Why did she have a bar of chocolate just in the kitchen anyhow?
She
Did you
lives
eat
there.
it?
I had a piece.
That's on you.
Yes, it is.
She lives there.
But no, she doesn't.
Thank you on you though.
That's on you.
It's
That's
me.
on you.
But when you know it ain't even your chocolate and then you just decided to eat it.
Okay, can I just say?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your
She-
second point? Go on. You said you had 2
Yeah,
words.
but
Don't
on
rush
to
me
the
because I'm
next.
angry.
That's
Also,
not
today, this
anger.
morning, in my sweet spot of just about to awaken with the pigeons and the birds, my daughter called me and said, "Mummy, I'm really sorry. I left my work shoes at home. Can you put them in an Uber and send them to my workplace?" So I had to get dressed, go downstairs, go outside and take my daughter's shoes to the Uber and then go back upstairs. And it broke my
I
sweet
hate that.
rise.
I can't lie. I hate that. It's always Judger. He will always wake me up out of my sleep. I'm in a dream and he will be like, "Mum, bye. Why are you waking me up?"
Say bye.
All I'm going to do is say bye and then you leave. Like, what? Oh my God.
Him.
Oh,
He
oh.
wants
He
to
wants
make
to say
sure
bye.
that you know he's gone.
Text me.
No. I disagree with
You
that.
leave
Text
him
me back.
alone.
You know what makes it worse?
One day he's not going to say goodbye,
And you're
and you're
gonna
going to be like,
miss-
"Oh,
yeah.
why isn't he saying goodbye to me?"
Yeah.
Text me.
No, because the thing is, every morning when my daughter does her early shift or whatever, we say goodbye at 6:30. She leaves, and I'm like, "Bye." I have to say, I give her a little blessing message, and that's our thing. Then I go back to sleep to
can't
get up
sleep again.
No, I might zone out. I'll do my thing. I'll start to prepare. So I was in my prepare sweet spot to get back up, and then she called, "Mummy."
No.
I mean, you were in your prepared sweet spot. What Egypt's been doing, my daughter's been doing, she set her alarm for 6:30, yeah, convincing herself that she's going to hear it and wake up. And she don't wake up. And the alarm's just going and 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 going. And I'm like,
And then you have to get up.
You have that same problem, but it's at 5.
Alarms.
so
Is that
annoying.
fine?
It's at
Actually,
5,
I don't
yeah, because he
even
wants
think-
to go
I
out
think it's
early.
6 o'clock, not 6:30. Because at 6:30 my alarm goes off and then I'm up and I'm like, yeah.
It kills me. It kills me. 5 o'clock. Yeah, when he's going basketball, that is the first one. Okay, and then you'll be screaming, and then I will scream, and it's like, "What happened?" You just switch off the alarm. I'm
Can't
frustrated.
stand it.
They're too much. Kids are a lot, man.
Kids are annoying.
Only do it if you really want them, guys.
If you really want them, because you can't send them back.
I wish I could send this guy back, Demetrious Johnson, because he's been shitting on black women. Guys, this is my enemy. That's my real enemy of progress. Love you, baby girl. So, retired MMA fighter Demetrious Johnson recently went on a podcast called Out of Pocket with RG3, hosted by a former NFL quarterback called Robert Griffin III and his wife, Greta Griffin, a former Estonian heptathlete. Right. However, then they got into the Greta, she's a white woman, and these two are married. She said, "Oh, and you're also in an interracial relationship."
It is. There's nothing you can do that's ever going to trump what my wife has done for me and what we built together, right? And so,
And it's a good thing your wife's hot, so.
yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah. So for me,
Nice job, baby.
so for me, it's like I'm.
Would be weird.
I was just gonna sit here, man.
So I'm proud. I'm proud to be one of those good statistics of a black husband.
I love that. You're also in a interracial marriage.
So now we're
As
going.
Yo,
as
correct me.
are
Now,
we.
now we're going
Let's
to the
talk
deep
about
end.
that.
Trust me.
We're going into the deep
I've been at parties where they were like, "Oh, you playing in the snow," and I was like, "Well, you know what? She was coming at me hot, so I had to hit her back real good. I was like, I don't want to play in the mud. I want to get dirty now." She goes, my boy was sitting there. He goes, "Motherfucker, brave dog. You brave. You about to get." I know. I was like, she came at me first. She came with me first. So,
Everybody in the room laughed again. He also stated that he's always dated white girls, as in like, I've always dated white girls. That drew laughs again. He said that when he dated black girls, they bullied him. They all laughed again. And then they discussed the more sensible conversation where they discussed whether or not their children are black or mixed race, which was the better part of this conversation. Quite informative, a little bit informative. And they talked about the experience of their children being called N-words and stuff like that. And he said in celebrating his children, they got the best of both worlds, the skin colour and the blue eyes.
Can't cope.
Then it rounds up the section back on bullshit, being at a function and in the same vein of shits and gigs with Andrew Schultz, said to all his black friends, he said when he was out, who all dated black women? Who stressed? Not me. So, and then also the another thing, well, this is a topic of discussion. Let me just land on that. That's what he did in this space.
Remember I said to you guys in the group chat, I'm going to start using the word pussy hole often.
You did.
He's a pussy hole.
Yeah. You know what?
What is even there to say? If you speak, if I say what I want to say, they'll just put me onto the Hague, boy. Hague. This category of man, needs to die out. I'm sorry. Like, we need to stop giving them podcasts. He sounds like the type of guy that was probably bullied by one person when he was like 10. And you know, sometimes with men, they can carry that weird kind of projection into adulthood. So it's like, oh, this person broke my heart when I was 10. Therefore, for the rest of my life, I'm going to hate all women kind of thing.
Definitely.
He sounds like that. And he sounds a bit like a coon as well. Sorry.
He absolutely is a coon. And I can believe he was bullied because he looks like a toe. Absolutely. Like, I know I would have said something about his head. I would have, and I'm sure other people did as well. But the thing is, they always seem to focus on the black women saying something. I know that there were white people that gunned him as well, because the guy is straight. He has been gunned. Absolutely, yes. And that's probably why you were a fighter. Everything he said in that was so despicable. As your children, mixed race, black, whichever way, they're gonna see that. Yeah. And as his woman, I'm not gonna feel special. I'm like the other of you. Basically were like, I'm not doing black, so then you've got me. It's not for me. There's too many ulterior things. I'd be like, you're an absolute idiot.
Yeah. Fetishism.
Yes, absolutely.
And as for his children, has he got daughters?
Yes.
So, okay, so your brown-skinned baby girls, right? Whether they have blue eyes or not, to the world, they are going to be presented as, people of colour.
Yeah.
So you are happy with people talking about your children in the way that you talk about black women. Mud and stressing people out. And you're happy for that, right?
He doubled down and said, oh, well, because they were getting at me, so I flung back. But I don't want to take away from his experience, because you might have felt backed against the wall, and they're saying you're playing in the snow. I don't know the context. But he was like, I went to the function and she was coming at me. So I said, well, I don't want to play in the mud and get dirty. Even if that happened, to have that on a podcast where, and I again, Greta wasn't being inflammatory or anything. She asked a question to have a conversation. I'll give her that. But you'd said all those things and you got two black men and a white woman laughing, because she didn't not laugh. She laughed.
She laughed all the time.
And Robert laughed as well.
Yeah.
And Robert tried to, the co-host tried to be like, expand, especially when he said about black men, it's in their DNA. He did try and come back and say no, because black men get a raw deal about it's a misconception, it's a stereotype. Yeah. But they still laughed about it. And it's that thing of, because the guest, what's his name, Demetrious, was saying that he never saw his mum love a man and his dad was gone. So that reinforces him being a present father and a good husband and all that type of stuff. That's all well and good. You could have spoken about you could have said, look, I had bad experiences, but I found love. You weren't saying anything that was like an anecdotal story that will give just like real insight into the reason why I'm dating a white woman. It was more just, I'm going to shit on black women. Though Robert decided to expand on what black men go through, no one expanded on what black women go through. No one said, well, actually, let's not say that. Everyone was just chuckling and laughing and having a good old time at the expense of black women. And I'm sick and tired of it.
I'm just sick and tired of these black bounties making out like it's the black woman's problem. Just say you like what you like, innit?
Yeah.
Just be honest with the thing. Because it's not about me. You're not dating them because of me. And if you are, that is still because of you.
Yeah.
Because somebody told you something 10,000 years ago that you didn't like. It's ridiculous. I cannot stand it. And what, do you not love your mum? Do you not love your mum?
No, they don't see it like that, because I think
the women in your family, how can you look at them? Do you not have family functions? Do you not engage with the black side of you
But that's
at all?
what he said at family functions when they get onto him. He said, all his friends, most of his people are dating black women. And that's when he said, well, who all stressed? Not me.
I hate to quote this man.
Go on, give it to him. Give it to him.
That thing where he was like, black women called you ugly, so you think a white woman's going to call you handsome? That was the first thing that came to my mind when you were talking about it. And I'm just like, you can talk about your preference for white women without shitting on black women. That's what I don't understand. Why is it that you then go to that thread of black women automatically being aggressive or having attitude or all of these other things that you have been raised by whoever or the media to believe about black women? It makes me sick. It's so frustrating.
And in the same vein, the bit that I left out was like, they were also discussing about when a friend said to the host, Robert, they were having a conversation. And I think Robert said, oh, do you date white women or would you date a white woman? And the friend said, no, my mother raised me right. So they had a whole conversation about what does that actually mean? And I think it's a fair discussion. What does that actually mean? If your black parent says to you that, no, if your black friend says to you, yeah, my mum raised me right, so I ain't dating no white girl. Because they were saying that's teaching hate, that's teaching, that's not a nice thing to be raised in. What does that actually mean? But then you're okay with everything else that's just been said on the pod. You can have a fair discussion about that, but you can't have a fair discussion and pull this guy up for saying, going out with black women's like playing in the mud and getting dirty.
It's just crazy.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. That's, so, Demetrious.
He's thoroughly in the bin.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just want to add, because they're in the same ballpark. Yeah, there's a story that is going around. And you know when you see something and you should feel outraged or sorry for what has taken place to this family, but because they shit, they have been shitting on black women consistently on Twitter.
I've seen this.
You can hear that a black man has been murdered and be like, yeah. So there's this guy, I can't even find his name.
You see it?
And he was murdered by his girlfriend. Yeah. Who was out raving the day before, and she seemed to wake up and shoot him, but is saying that she was just cleaning her gun. Now, his family are out there being like, look, she's only going to be charged with involuntary manslaughter, and it should be murder because she murdered a black man. And everyone in the comments is a bit like, well, look at what he was saying about black women.
Have you got his tweet?
Disgusting.
Literally, he was team white woman. He was going in.
He would say like, he had some horrible things that he was saying, and he said, one of the more recent tweets was like, I will kill for her, I will die for her. Yeah.
Well, you got your wish.
Do you know what I don't understand? Yeah, why is it always black men that have to be like
over?
Like, no, why do they always have to be like, I date white because black women are stressful. I date white because look, black women do so much bad things. White women are so much better. Blah blah. Why do they do that? When a black woman dates a white man, I don't hear that. You know,
yeah, it's not.
I don't
in the
hear
same
black
way.
women say, oh, it's because they treat me so much better. I personally, talking about from my experience, and I know black women that date white men, I don't hear them say that. Why is it that black men need to put us down in order to justify what it is that they're doing? I will never understand it.
I think there's like assimilation to whiteness that I think they want to kind of be. Because you ever heard that thing where people say that black men are the white women of blackness, and that they want to be, in terms of like power structure, they want to be where like white men are, and so in order to get to that power, they go via sleeping with, having sex with, marrying white women to get to that level of power that they look up to, which is the white man. Yeah. And it's interesting what you were saying about like, why is it that when men talk about their preferences, they always shit on black women, but it's never the reverse. I tend to hear, when I have spoken with black women who date white men, and like in my past, I used to date white men as well. For me, it was never really an optional thing. It was only because they were the only ones that showed attraction to me. It was never, because I hate black men. I love black men, but they didn't return the favour at the time. So it was more a case of I'm going where the love is, as opposed to I'm dating white men because black men have done da-da-da-da, or they're ugly, or they're this, or it was always kind of, they felt the need to go that way because they were the only people showing them any kind of love. It's a difficult thing to track, I think.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, because I think there is a bias, and when we have in the comments, you will see that, if it was a black man, you'd be doing this, and if it was a black man, you lot would be cussing. But when it's a white woman, so we're not as aggressive with Serena, we're not aggressive with her sister, we're not as aggressive with Eve. We tend to be like, go get with your white man who's going to treat you well. But there is a little bit of a pattern. And again, men deal with facts and stats. I don't have the facts and stats, but there's a bit more of a pattern where it's seemingly that black women who struggle to find a partner or have that rejection from black men end up with a white man and feel more secure, looked after and loved. I don't know the absolute stats, but that's what it seems like anecdotally and evidently, like in what I see. And the difference, and I mean, black men say the same thing. There are black men that say, well, look, I was bullied. No one liked me. I was too dark. They have their colorism issues as well, where they're like, well, I go where the love is. But it's just different about the tone and the voice. And I think because men are typically, and the choosers, the hunters, the people that do the choosing, that pick the women, we're at a deficit. We can't do the choosing. No matter how much we get more evolved and feminism this and then patriarchy gets, shut down or whatever, we're still in a world where men do the choosing. And black women, with our slim pickings, if you like a black man.
You know what the thing is though? We have two men here who have displayed the same thing.
Yeah.
One died at the hands of the woman that he picked up.
Yeah.
The other one is out here still shitting on black women. But both of them, you can see a thread of being like, I'm with this white woman because I hate black women.
Yeah.
And how many black women in prominent positions can you say have done that?
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
That's the
there
difference.
are
That
too
is
many
different.
black men that we can recall saying shit about black women. It's not the same. So you can be like, the reasons aren't equal. And I do think it is a bit of that. I think because of how things are, a man has power anyway, just for being a man. Yeah, you're going to come down because you're a black man. But if you feel that I can step up in a way with a white woman, I think they already don't have the same thing as sexism like we do. So we're getting it in twofold. You have blackness and then you're a woman. Yeah. So we see the world different. Yeah. It's a different lens compared to a black man. And I think it is very... There's a question in, we could explore it another time, like what... Black men seem to be very quick to discard their blackness. Whereas I think black women...
We hold on to it.
And I think that's what we see a lot of the time as well. But also, like, do you feel bad for not feeling bad that the guy has been killed? No. Like, should there be an outcry that she does have involuntary manslaughter when she basically killed him?
I mean, it should be murder, and that's where my empathy stops.
Fair.
It's capped. I'm sorry. I saw the stuff that he was saying on Twitter this afternoon. I was shocked. It was disgusting. Yeah. So based off of that, I'm just like, well, the game's game. Sorry.
The game's the game.
The game's the game. You are the architect of your own downfall, my friend.
Word. Speaking of dickhead black men, my enemy of progress is Neo. Yes, Neo. Mr. Loverman himself. Mr. I have 4 girlfriends now and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. So Neo is in a polyamorous relationship with 4 women. It was 3. He added one to the roster.
New one.
He recently added one to the roster.
Hey.
Yeah. So he was, talking on about how great it is in his polyamorous relationship, and one of his baby mothers, so the one that he cheated on his ex-wife with and he had 2 children with, that one, she went online and she said, didn't I tell your corny ass not to have that shit going on around my kids? To do that cornball shit on your own time. Wasn't corny when you banged him when he was married though, was he?
Wow.
Anyway, I digress. So in response to the backlash from said Sade baby mother, he wore a t-shirt that said, fun fact, I don't care.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
doing the Melania.
He's also come out and said, this one makes the kids breakfast, this one makes the kids lunch, this one makes the kids dinner. He's come out and said, I don't care. I believe in being transparent and honest with my children, and this is my life, and they're going to see it.
That's...
See it away.
I mean,
that's wild.
What happened to Neo? I mean, obviously, yes, he's been a serial cheater. He had that going for him. But I didn't ever think he was going to be this guy out with 4. I didn't see that coming for Neo and his egghead. Literally...
I think polyamory, fair enough. If that's something that you want to do or practice, that's fine. Yeah. I'm just surprised that he's got 4. That's the gag for me. I'm just like, 4.
And they are beautiful women.
They are.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I mean, I know he's rich.
Okay with. Oh, that's
They
probably
all
the main
hang out
vein of the
together.
richness, I guess.
That's the polyamory of it.
They all go out, like the
sister
three of
wives.
them.
Sister
Yeah.
wives. They are sister wives.
And then he added one of his dancers, so she's the fourth one coming
the
in.
choreographer.
My thing is exposing your kids to it. I don't. I don't feel. Did he say that he was just very open with it in front of his kids?
He said that he believes in being transparent and truthful about his relationships and has introduced all his partners to his children, ensuring that they understand each person's role in their lives.
I do think, not my life, but I guess how could he hide it? How does he hide it? How old are his children?
Well, they're little.
Some of them are young.
Yeah.
Very young.
I understand.
The ones with Sade are small.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the newest children.
Like the baby,
They're
are they
the
babies,
babies.
and toddlers?
Yeah.
Like, I think they're like 5, like probably like
If
5,
that.
3.
I don't even know if they're that.
Like, they're little kids.
They're little
So,
children.
If this is his life, and this is how he lives, you've got these 4 women in your yard, and it's daddy's time with the kids. What does he do? How do you know? I'm not, because it's not my life. This is not ever going to be my life. But how should he navigate it?
I think if the mother of your kids is saying, don't have my kids around all of your chicks, I think it's fair that they go about their business.
Same.
Like, you've got enough money to put them in a hotel.
You have your house is big enough too. I'm sure you've got guest houses. Yeah. Or you have multiple homes. Like, as you said, Nana, when you're co-parenting, it is important for you both to get to a place of understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. If she suddenly turns up with 4 men, I know he wouldn't like that shit.
Of course not.
Yeah. Around your children. He probably doesn't have his children every single day. So on the days that you do have your children, surely, Neo, you can do without it. Surely. Or at least in front of them. You know?
Like, they can go
Come on.
elsewhere, no?
Yeah, it's a question.
I
Because
think
people,
so.
I think it's what does he do? Because people are going to try and excuse it, but it's good to hear. What does he do? And to me, it is about the co-parenting of it all. When the other parent is like, this is not for me, because also she knows she got him in nefarious ways. He's now, and he's also, there was a moment where it seemed like he was a bit spinning out of control.
Yeah.
When he came out of the spin, now he's got this polyamorous situation going on. We don't know how long this is going to last. This is a phase.
That's what
Is he-
she's saying.
And this
He
is the thing. So
says-
then you're indulging in the madness and bringing your kids involved. That's not cool. If you might think you're doing normality, but you know what you can do is just keep your kids out of it. And as you said,
I mean,
hotel.
Exactly. She's not the only former partner to make comments either. Like his ex-wife, not the first ex-wife, the second one.
The guy
Let's not forget. Wait, let
What he did.
me rewind very quickly. So the first wife, he said after they had children, he was like, "I don't want any more children. You should get your tubes tied. You go and get. I don't want to be sterilized."
Wait, one second. Didn't he tell her he didn't want kids and they didn't have kids, and so she got sterilized and they didn't?
No, they had kids and they did. I don't want any more.
They had children.
Okay.
They had children.
Okay.
And then after they've had their children, he said to her, "I do not want any more children. You go and get sterilized." So she went and got sterilized, and then he left her for the new chick,
And
who then became
second
his
wife.
No, he
wife
did not have children.
and had children.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he's got 2 with her.
He's got 2 with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, second wife.
That part. This is women
him.
piercing.
The hell?
Yeah.
Then
Nasty work. That's
second
nasty
wife.
work.
What does he go and do?
Yep. Then with the second wife, he cheats on the second wife with this one who's up in here commenting about the blah, 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 blah.
Polyamorous.
Yeah. To the point where when he's with this second wife, he has to do a DNA test on the mistress's child to prove that it's his, and that's how the marriage broke apart.
It's given Maury. What the hell?
Exactly.
giving.
Just gallivanting anyhow.
That's what.
And this is what gives Demetrious a chance to say, it's in there, do you know?
Like Neo is the worst.
that's
Like,
nasty.
He is the worst guy, really, because all of that. So I think her name was Crystal, the second
Crystal,
wife.
it was.
She has her 2 kids, and then in between those kids, Sade is having her kids.
Yeah.
And then Crystal's like, I want out of this, and Neo's like, okay, cool. Then he's like, Sade, I don't even think those kids are mine.
Yeah.
So then she has to sue him and do the DNA to get money out of him. And then he's like, ta-da, guys, now I'm polyamorous and I've got all of the women.
Wild.
It's giving
You're an
loose cannon.
It sounds like he's spiraling.
It's giving Nick
Like,
Cannon.
It's giving.
It's like they're all mad. Like, you know, it's like,
They are.
what
mad.
happened
They are.
to these
The industry
people?
turns them wild, and this is where it's like also you've got kids. It's not about transparency and I'm a great father and I'm being truthful. No, you're showing your kids you are reckless and wild. You have no control over your loins, and you're just doing the most and providing the least.
You got 6 children.
7.
They,
He's got 7.
They should take up all your time anyway. Why do you even
Why
have
do
the
you
4
even
women
need-
there?
Yeah.
Just be a dad, bro.
He said he doesn't care. As long as he is maintaining his happiness. He doesn't care.
And the thing is, you know what? Take care of you, boo. But on Saturdays, Sundays, when you got the kids, how about they all
beg.
go to Disneyland and have a fun
Oh,
time?
do you know what it is?
together?
I've worked it out.
What?
I've worked it out. Because he's got 7 children, there's one for every day, innit? So at some point, he's always got the kids around him. So he's like, I can't not have my women. I've got to have them.
Cooking.
Send the women away. I mean, look, I think if
The chicks are up
don't
for it,
know.
though. The chicks are like...
Yeah, but they're going to. You're going to keep you like we. I don't say we all know, but you know that when you want to impress your man, you're going to be, oh, these kids are so cute, and you could hate kids, but to keep your man, you're going to keep the lifestyle. You're going to be like, oh, I'm your stepmama, I love you, and all that shit.
All 4 of them.
All four of them, because you're getting a bag. And
I mean, how much is Neo giving out? Is it?
I don't
I guess Neo does have money. He does have trees.
does have
He's
money.
making.
He's got money and
Yes,
he's written
that
songs as
songwriting
well.
money.
Yeah,
So
he's
not
cool.
just about his own personal catalog.
And they may
Stuff
love
that
him,
he's-
and he may love them. Who are we?
He's
But you've got
45.
children.
Those girls don't look like they love him.
He's 45 years old.
You got to love a man to do that.
Oh dear.
It is a midlife crisis.
It is. And all these, there's
Is
so
he wearing
many
leather
of them
pants
having
and
these.
Yes,
Like
he's always wearing leather pants.
And has he got a
And
Lamborghini?
always cheesy grinning. Always.
Maybe they really love each other. And I guess what
bullshit.
happens in the bed? What happens in the bedroom? Do they have like Tuesday's my night? Do they have like that?
I
Or do
need
they
to
have
know.
I
group
reckon
sessions?
he's got them all at the same time.
Yeah,
It's group sessions.
Yes.
they look. I'm not. Look, they're lovely black women, but I'm just saying they look like they could.
At least they're black women.
Demetrious, learn from Leo, I guess.
Anyway, Neo's in the blood clot bin. Him and his big head.
All right. It's been a man heavy one. Men, you're not doing well, you know. 'Cause-
Oh my word! And then we come to a UK. Is he a rapper, a
never heard of
grimer? I don't even know what this dude is. But what I know is the video of him. He is called PS HitSquad. He's on a live stream going ham on 2 girls, and it's so uncomfortable to watch. It's like, I don't know what he's on. I think he could be on various different things. And one of the girls, he almost pulls, well, he does pull her hair. He's like, you're beautiful. Like, he pulls her hair, and the girl's like, don't pull her hair. He's so threatening. It's very grapey.
You understand? Yeah. This is not real. This is real. That's real. That's your hair. You know why I know that's your hair? Because I downloaded you.
You downloaded me. Wait, calm down, please. All right. Please, calm down. All right.
He's come out and apologized, but I don't like this streaming culture that is in the UK. Like there's, we're not doing, it's not like Kai Cenat. It's like there seems to be a lot of alcohol. The girls don't look safe. There's always like scantily clad women around and these like black men. It's just very awkward. And this guy is a little bit scary, like very much so. He is definitely in the bin. Even his apology is forthright. It's weird. What say ye about him?
I saw the clip and I was like, what the hell's going on? I actually dismissed it because I didn't, it's like, this is kid shit. I don't know. I thought it was it staged, whatever. I haven't got time. But when we looked into it and I was like, okay, this is wild. Having those 2 young girls there, the guy, the host, the streaming host, who was very aggressively shouting about who, I'll go back to prison for this.
It was all dodgy.
It was a lot. It was a lot. And I think there is something, again, it's people with platforms, the accessibility to go live and share your world with the world. It's a problem. We need to rein it in.
Yeah.
Who am I? Because people could say the same about us. But at the same time, there's a level of, there's no kind of, you know, we worked in TV, that the rules and regulations, the watershed, having kind of guidelines, you know, like broadcasting
Safety.
rules, safety, exactly.
Yes.
And there's nothing. You can just set up a camera, take a space and say, yeah, we're going to go live and just do recklessness. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
I think a lot of that is brought on, regrettably, speaking as a content creator by content creator culture
Yes, it's
as
awful.
well.
Yeah.
And for one, I'm very much like, I don't know if this sounds elitist or classist, but like, bring back only knowing about celebrities in magazines. Like, it's not every day Snapchat. Like Snapchat is back apparently. Like that's kind of had a resurgence.
I'm hearing people talking about like, oh,
That
there's
never
so
went
much
away
on Snap.
that never went away in my world because my daughters, that's their communication.
Is that okay?
Oh.
But it's like all of these, like Instagram Live, this live, TikTok Live is now a thing, and you can make money from being on lives.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people now go live is because. What was it? Was it that woman who does the NPC stuff where she'll just be like making popcorn and pretending to be like a video game character? And when people saw how much money she was making, it was like, okay, well, everyone's going to get on live and do their own little niche things now. But again, like you say, it kind of brings... It's too much. Nobody needs to know that much about anybody. Like, I know too much. I would like to unsee it every now and again, you know?
Definitely. What did Angie say when she was on here? Some people with podcasts, they shouldn't have them because they're just not ready to speak. No. You're just showing your lack of intelligence and, you know, go and do that stuff in the mirror at home.
Yeah. And also,
we don't need to see it. It doesn't, and the fact that these people are drinking and having these girls around, that makes me very, very concerned.
And that's the thing, because even for himself, like what's going on in his world, it could just be, okay, I was a bit high and I got a bit reckless. But if you're not, and if you're on a kind of crazy path where you are just getting drunk and if you've got issues going on and then you've got a camera at hand, you're incriminating yourself, you're putting yourself in danger and putting other people in danger.
Yeah, it was dangerous because, and what a lot of people were saying was, well, he knows he's on a live stream.
Yeah.
And you were being that aggressive to women. What is he like in his everyday life?
When the cameras
there's no cameras
rolling,
around.
When the cameras switched off, what was he saying to those same girls? What happened?
Yeah.
And it is a bit scary. Like, you know, you do dumb shit when you're young. Like, I definitely was in Mitesfield in some guy's house. I don't even know who he is. With my friends, and he had swords on his wall. I don't know whose house I was in. You do stupid shit when you're young. And it seems like there's too many of these young girls in these spaces with these rappers on a live stream, and you're really in a compromised situation. Like, there's one part, he's got a pool and the girls have just been in the pool and then they've come out and they're all wet and a lot of their stuff is see-through. And you know, when early music videos and you're just like, you hear about what was going on there, it's like, oh no, we're going through that again. But now it's going to be live streamed.
It's live streamed.
It's scary. It's scary. People like...
Yeah, there needs to be some more safeguarding in these type of things.
Also, just what happened to playing The Sims? I'm sorry. If you want to live your life online, just go onto The Sims and you can do whatever you want to do behind the safety of your make-believe character. You can get them pregnant, you can kill them, all of those things. Let's go back to Habbo Hotel. I'm sorry. Live stream.
I think there's what we call the scene generation. I think it's the scene generation. I saw an article and there's a name for it, and that's what it is. We're now raising people growing into this world where we need to be seen. So it's now part of their DNA. It's part of a thing where to be seen, because you've got babies now that are camera ready. Yeah. That they know the phone is there and they're ready to perform.
Yeah. For phone goes up there.
I find that I don't like that. And that as much as I enjoy seeing kids, I love baby Insta, but there's something about it when you start to see parents curating and putting their kids into situations, then I'm a bit like, this is not real. A natural capture, oh, my kid did something funny and happened to capture it. That's different than, okay, no, my kid just happened to be in the pot with all the food over. No, they never.
Yeah.
No, they never.
It's like you said, though, it's about people recognizing that they can make money off of all of this.
That's what it is.
Which is why I think in France, they've banned it now. They've banned influencers using their kids in
have they?
Instagram for content.
I missed that. Okay.
I think
that's interesting.
Like mid last year.
Yeah.
They put out a thing being like, if you're a content creator or you want your kids to be on, like, you're not allowed, or you have to ask for the children's consent or something like that, which I think is a great thing. I think asking children for consent before putting them online, because we don't know who's online. The nastiness that people can find online is troublesome.
Yes.
So it's like,
we've spoken about this before. Like,
we have.
The permission, because I was saying to my daughter the other day, like, I wish I had videos of you. You should born just after that boom of like having the camera in their face every minute, and I wish I had that. But there is a thing like, I probably would have not thinking about it, because the time when social media came through for us, we weren't thinking about the longevity of it.
Yeah.
It definitely, like, if she was born today, I'd be a lot more like, more concerned about what I do. But back in when she was born in 2000, I was like, I wouldn't have thought about it. So I probably would have put everything I could up on the thing about thinking. But now we have a bit more insight into what it's like. I
think there does need to be regulation, actually, like from all of the platforms, like how they did with YouTube. But I think you do have to be like, okay, what can people do? Not to say licenses, but standards, codes of conduct. Like, you have to like opt in to, as a content creator, like a broadcaster, there should be codes of conduct.
Yeah.
And if you go against that, you can't, like, your platform goes. I think we need standards now. Definitely.
I agree. I was wondering how they enforce it. Because even with that whole thing of when they were saying about porn, like, if you go to a porn site and it says, "Are you of age?" Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same with socials, though, isn't it? How many teenagers or preteens do you know that put in "I'm 16" or whatever it is?
Yeah. Because Australia, haven't they banned under 13?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's on Instagram, and they've enforced it. But I can't remember how they've enforced it. Something to do with ID or something, or like having their
you may have to
show like an ID, national ID card or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Because there has to be something. It should be a blocker, because you can like fake it. So if there's something like you have to do a scanner card, you've got to have something where you have to have the physical thing. And if you don't have it at that age, it's impossible.
Yeah.
It could be that stepping stone.
I do think it's about how parents maintain control of kids' devices, and that's not to say that I'm spying on my child, but there are definitely certain things that I've put in. I didn't want Egypt to get a phone. My mum bought that phone for her, but when she bought that phone, I've put things on the phone so I know what I want. Like at a certain time, cut off, lock off. Yeah? There's certain things that if she goes and tries to download certain apps, I'll get a notification. She can't download nothing. So even like YouTube on there, it's a particular, I've set the parameters of what she can and can't watch, what she gets fed, just little things like that.
It's good.
Even down to what she can Google, like what she can search. And some people might feel like that's a bit controlling, but my child is 11.
No, you got to do it all.
I don't want her to be, being able to see certain things, and she's not allowed Snapchat. Some of her friends have got Snapchat, and I'm just like, no, you can't have it.
See, this is the thing. I didn't even know the little ones like that were on Snapchat. But the boys are always saying, "Oh, my friends are all in Snapchat." It's like, absolutely not. You're not having that. And the same, we have everything. You can see where they are, like full on. We know where you are. And even when they're trying to be like, "Oh, I'm at this stop," it's like, no, you're not. We can see you. We can see you on Google. Like, literally, no, it has to be like that, because I wouldn't. If it was me, they wouldn't have a phone until like 16. But because they got to travel, they have to have a phone, and you're going out by yourself. But honestly, no, I don't like it. And when people, when you're in the supermarket and you see that a baby has like the YouTube on, like they've got a phone in front of them, I'm like, do you even know what that is doing to that kid's mind? Like, we don't have the data yet.
Yeah.
And they're just there, when before a kid would be
looking at the world,
licking the glass on a bus or something.
I mean, that's never been okay. But listen, I will give an evil eye to a child that's not mine. When I see kids doing wrong, I'm like,
I can't help myself.
I know, when they're doing that licking a bus, I can't help myself. At least they're out here using their imagination.
It's all about sensory.
There's so many things.
Also, lots of germs, but I would prefer seeing that than when they are there bopping their
iPads.
heads.
I see someone with iPads.
But you see, and it's just a walk, and the fact that they can scream and they're like, "I'll just here." Timmy,
like you just hand over a phone. It's like, no, what is that doing?
And I think you can say like, I get it because it's the time, but then no, you've got to. I don't know.
Do you know what though? I remember my little brother. My little brother is 13 years younger than me, and I remember when he was a baby, the only way to get him to sit down and shut the fuck up is like to make him watch adverts. He would watch adverts. That was a thing. Adverts. We did a tape of adverts.
Yeah.
And when I was there, I would like, put that in the video. Yeah. You sit down there. Let me go and do what I need to do in the house.
That's my little cousin. Absolutely did that.
Just watching adverts.
I mean, I think we spoke about it before. We used to tape adverts, and I remember when my family went back to Ghana, they were like, "Oh, tape that." We had a tape of adverts for them to take back. It was like, these are so funny. It's like,
oh, yeah, they're equivalent.
Yeah, it's the thing. Yeah, but So guys, that was our those were plenty. Sorry guys, sorry black men.
Those were our enemies.
I mean, you guys got it.
You guys got it. It's been a tough week for you guys.
They ain't been great though at the moment. I think
bad.
yeah, in your brotherhood circles, I don't know, or your group chats, like talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like, let's
Say you
try and be better.
Yeah, isn't it?
Well, they're always damn talking.
Always saying, you know what I'm saying? So,
Look, we don't want to shit on you, but stop shitting on us.
Yeah.
How about that?
Next week, let's be better, men. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll hold women to account when they do wrong, but they just don't, generally. I mean,
lies.
there are some... Look, we'll get on to Kemi Badenoch another day. How about
Yes.
that? My guys, this has been your Aunties Could Never. Thank you, sweet Stephanie, for joining us.
Thank you for having
Helping
me.
us set the world to rights. Guys, I always forget to do this. We have a couple of live shows that we do with all the aunties in different ways. Oh, yeah. We have Labrish.
We have Labrish. We go live on Tuesday at 1 p.m. and we cover all things reality.
And on a Sunday, what do we do?
We have news and nonsense. Nonsensical news. We go live at 12. So it's 12 p.m. news and nonsense. And that is live on YouTube.
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday. Sorry, I thought you said that. Sorry, my bad. On a Sunday.
Yes. News and nonsense at noon.
Nonsensical news.
And that's it. So, guys, I always forget my little...
And if you're here and you haven't already, remember what everyone said. Like, comment and subscribe.
Please.
Yes, please don't forget to like...
Tell a
comment,
friend,
and
tell a friend.
Yes, we are on the road to 10K and we're getting there, you know. We could do it. If you guys, everybody watching this was like, oh my God, I haven't subscribed, and you subscribed, we could actually be at 10K by next week.
Definitely.
That could happen.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
All right, that's our show. Keep safe and enemy free. Lots of love, good vibes, and hugs from your favourite
Auntie.
I don't understand why this is back.
I need you to stop cussing.
No, you're singing. I'm allowed to cuss.
No. I am. Well, do you know, can I just
This
say...
ain't going to be in the show.
I know.
Just
can I
so
just
you
say,
know.
what I want to tell the people. In college, we used to sing our hearts out. Me and Farah used to walk around...
something years ago.
Doesn't matter. We used to sing with abundance and abandon. We used to sing, what do we used to sing? Queen. I see a little...
Oh my God, we
used to sing
battered
the
that.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Battered it
We'd
from
walk
start to
around
finish.
the street singing it. with our
We used to
heart.
do that on the top of the bus.
Yeah, we'd do it
And
anywhere.
then some people would get up and leave.
I mean,
Anywhere.
we always piss people off.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
That
We
was the
was
most
singing
fun on a
anywhere.
bus.
We sang, and we just sing it. I want that girl back.
Well, the girl that I remember used to be able to sing.
Are you still recording? Because I'll keep that in. Yeah. I'll keep that in.